Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon, and welcome to the Governor's Global Climate Summit. Now, last year when we all were here, I said, I'll be back. And I'm back, and of course, all of you are back. So this is really great, and welcome to Los Angeles. And what a thrill it is to look around here and to see so many great minds at work from so many different cultures, and to see the critical partnerships that are being formed right all around us here. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you for traveling the thousands of miles to come here, and thank you for your great passion for this particular subject. And I want to first say thank you to a lot of people that are responsible to make this happen. First of all, a big thank you to Secretary Linda Adams for the great work that she has done. And Will Fox, who has been a terrific coordinator and a great organizer here. Thank you also to him. And Carl Bendix and Bonnie Rees, both of them, Carl Bendix and Bonnie Rees, have done an extraordinary job to coordinate all of this. And of course, we want to say thank you to my partners, Governors Gregoire and Kulongoski. We want to thank them also, and Governor Doyle and Granholm and Governor Patterson. All of them, I want to say thank you for this great partnership. And also I want to say thank you to Olaf Gurvan, who is from the UN, who just spoke earlier, for coming out here and having such great interest in making this part of the whole UN agenda. A big thank you also to my wife Maria. Where's Maria? See right here. And right here. And then, of course, we have a whole bunch of celebrities here, and one of them you've heard from already, which is Harrison Ford, the man that has the box office muscles and is a terrific entertainer, but also very much interested in the environment. So we want to thank him for being here today and for giving his great speech. We want to thank also Chaiman Hunsu, who is going to come here on Friday. And then the Klitschko brothers, Vitaly and Vladimir, the great boxing champions. Where are they? They must be somewhere out here. Where? Oh, right here. Thank you so much for being here today. As a matter of fact, Vitaly just defended his title right here in Los Angeles, and of course they always work together. It's great, and I think that we need a lot of muscle behind this movement here, so it's great to have both of them here. And also what's great is when you are like an entertainer or an athlete and you show other interests such as global warming, and they are very intensely interested in that subject, so thank you. And so the list goes on and on. There's so many great celebrities and people. We have 200 guest speakers here that will be talking over the next few days, and we want to say thank you to all of them. Also, a big thank you goes to His Highness the Aga Khan and the Aga Khan Development Network for their generosity of being one of the main sponsors of this summit. So let's give them also a big hand. And we also want to thank, of course, all the other sponsors that have come in and have been contributing to make this event possible. But this is exactly the kind of collaboration that is needed to launch a national and international green revolution. And that is what we need, nothing less than a revolution, to combat climate change and to win our energy independence and to develop new low-carbon technologies. To grow our green economies is also very important, and to achieve global balance. I mean, there's no single issue that threatens the health and the prosperity of our nations and humanity more than climate change. And that is why last year we all joined together for the first time for the first Governors Global Climate Summit. There was so much action. We committed to reducing greenhouse gases from deforestation. We established and strengthened international relationships, and we collaborated with nations such as China, which has since launched its first voluntary carbon registry. This will allow China to measure how much individual businesses are actually emitting in greenhouse gases, which is the first step, of course, in reducing those emissions. It's no different than when you decide to go on a diet. You first have to step on a scale and say, oh my God, I got to lose 50 pounds. And then you know how to measure it, so they make sure that you actually lose the weight. So I think it's fantastic what they are doing over there in China. And now here we are at the Governor's Global Climate Summit number 2, which, of course, in my previous job, we called this in the movie business the sequel. We call it the sequel. The only thing is, I'm a little hesitant to call it the sequel because sequels normally in the movie business are not always as great as the original. But there are exceptions, of course, which are my movies, Harrison Ford's movies, and so on. So there are exceptions, of course, to this rule. And I think we will have one of those exceptions right here at this summit, because this is going to be the second summit, and the sequel is going to be better, it's going to be bigger, and more important than ever. So, yes, you can give... I mean, it's already fantastic. I mean, we have leaders here from more than 70 states, provinces, countries, and island nations, representing 6 of the world's 7 continents: Australia, Asia, Africa, Europe, South America, and North America. This is an unprecedented collaboration. It is an international conference of its highest level. Experts and leaders from around the world are here partnering and creating relationships that are the model for our nations. Together, we are calling on our national governments to recognize the support that we are giving, that how critical of a role that we are actually playing in fighting global warming. So we are asking them, because the bottom line is that what we are doing is absolutely essential, because while those governments, the national governments, are debating over who should go first with the reductions, while they're debating what should the developing nations do or the developed nations do, and all of those things, we, on a regional level, are already creating the action. That is right. We are creating the action. Our experience and our expertise are essential to the climate talks that will begin in just 2 months in Copenhagen. We will give the findings from this summit to the UN climate change negotiators to help them with their work in December. In fact, I will be traveling myself to Copenhagen to speak during the climate talks on behalf of all of the regions that are presented here today. They will hear our voices in Copenhagen, believe me. They will hear our voices, the voices of our cities and states, provinces, and nations, as we work together to make our vision become a reality. And we know that we must have climate action. And the action starts right here with us. That is how revolutions begin. And when I talk about revolution, I'm talking about the green revolution. As a grassroots level, it all starts, big movements all start on the grassroots level, on a local level, then on a state level, and then they gain momentum, and then they sweep through the nations, and they go around the world. As a matter of fact, I tell you, there's never been any movement that hasn't started on a grassroots level. That is where the action is, so we are where the action is. And our states and provinces are already leading the way. We are the laboratories of our nations, aren't we? We are driving change. We are making the connections and developing the tools and the strategies to fight global warming. And I'm proud of what we have accomplished so far. So I say we need to celebrate here a little bit and pat ourselves on the back, because just think about it. We just met last year, and since the last meeting, Indonesia, Brazil, and Mexico have created an action plan to protect our rainforests. And China has already announced that it will build the largest solar project in the world. And Mexico has pledged that it will cut greenhouse gas emissions by 50 million tons by the year 2012. Countries such as Algeria and Senegal and Uruguay are taking action by reaching out and partnering with us. And India is doing great things as well. For example, Dr. Puchari, who is lighting 1 billion lives by replacing kerosene and paraffin lanterns with solar light for 1 billion rural people. So let's give them a big hand for that great accomplishment.